NYPD officer guilty. First chokehold conviction since George Floyd ban. A landmark decision out of New York City, as an NYPD officer has been found guilty of strangulation and using a prohibited chokehold. This marks the very first time an officer in New York's police department has been convicted under the city's 2020 chokehold ban, a law enacted in the wake of George Floyd's murder. Officer Omar Habib was convicted of felony strangulation, a misdemeanor for using a prohibited restraint tactic, and third-degree misdemeanor assault. The felony strangulation charge alone carries a maximum sentence of 7 years in prison. Following his conviction, Habib, who had served since 2007, was immediately terminated from the police department and held without bail. The incident occurred in the Bronx on July 28 of last year, when Habib responded to a 911 call at a catering hall. Prosecutors say he placed a drunk and disorderly man, who was resisting arrest, in a chokehold so tight it impeded his breathing and circulation, causing him to lose consciousness. Habib's attorney argued that other factors like alcohol consumption without enough food could have caused the man to pass out. This isn't Officer Habib's first brush with accusations of misconduct. He had a history of substantiated complaints involving excessive force and abusing his authority, including a previous chokehold allegation from 2017 and accusations of lying under oath and tampering with evidence in an unrelated 2016 gun raid. The verdict has not been without controversy. Patrick Henry, president of the Police Benevolent Association of the City of New York, denounced the conviction, stating it's further proof of a grim reality. Every second police officers spend on this job puts them at risk of criminal prosecution. He also claimed that pervasive anti-police propaganda has made it incredibly difficult to receive a fair trial. The 2020 city law, under which Habib was charged, specifically criminalizes chokeholds and certain forms of pressure on an arrestee's chest or back that compress the diaphragm. It was passed after George Floyd's murder in May 2020, which ignited racial justice protests and a nationwide push for police accountability. Though police unions challenged the law, it was upheld by New York State's highest court in 2023. While NYPD policy already prohibited chokeholds in most cases, officers who used them were rarely prosecuted. A notable example is the 2014 death of Eric Garner. Officer Daniel Pantaleo, who used a prohibited chokehold, lost his job after a disciplinary proceeding but faced no criminal charges, despite Garner repeatedly saying he couldn't breathe. This conviction of Omar Habib marks a significant shift in accountability within the NYPD.